Oh, anybody hear me? If you can hear me, please drop a line in the chat below. Let's go. Let me check. Oh, yeah, you can hear me. That is nice. We have 55 viewers. That means there's still some people asleep. Line? I hear line. Oh, you dropped me a line, Christoph? Really? Thank you. Oh, it's so nice to see all those new faces, all those old faces. Nice, nice, nice. I'm gonna just start saying hi to everyone. Hi, Stevie. Hi, Bo. Hi, Laura. Hi, Clément. Hi, Paul. Hi, Sam. Hi, Christophe. Hi, Niels. You were first. That's great. Hi, Wart. Hey, Xavier. Hey, Yaiza. Who else is here? Mohamed Reza. Hannah.
SWB audio
Elena.
capture,
Alex.
not registered.
Polat, I think. Yes. Arno. Bram. Hi, everyone. Okay, I'm gonna stop saying hi. Okay, a little bit more. Hi, Tisha. Hi, Camille. Hi, Anastasia. I already said hi. Hi, Alex. Hi, Kaj. Hi, Lima. Yes, 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 yes. Hi, everyone. If you notice that some of your teammates are not online just yet, please poke them so that they can find the stream chat and find this live stream so they can get started together with us because we are about to get started. All right. Should I wait 2 more minutes? I'll wait 2 more minutes. I'll wait until there's 60 viewers alive and then. Okay. Now, I can already ask you, are you as excited as we are? Are we as excited as you are? Yes, good job, Xavier. Oh, yeah. Oof. Okay. There's 60 viewers. We can get started. Officially, everyone. Welcome to Open Summer of Code 2021, the Belgian Kickoff Edition. I can't believe it, but this is already the 11th edition of Open Summer of Code. That must mean we're doing something good. Something must be right about what we're doing. And even in a pandemic, we are having Open Summer of Code. But hopefully, this will be the last remote edition. And even though I would love to be
SWB
with you
audio
together
capture,
in one
not
room
registered.
and hack these things together, I'm still thrilled about Open Summer of Code being remote. Because if Open Summer of Code can survive a pandemic, we can do anything. We can do anything. And I want you together with me to this year, for the last time, prove what we can do even in a remote setting. Because last year I was overwhelmed with what we accomplished even during a pandemic. Thank you everyone for putting in the hard work, and thank you everyone for joining me again, joining us again. Old faces and new faces, I'm so happy to see you here today because it's gonna be awesome. And the only reason why it's awesome is because you're here, of course. Oh, is there something? Is there, do you hear something? SW, the audio capture something something. Uh-oh. I think you have to turn off annotations under the little cog wheel thingy. Oh, I actually paid for this crap. It's gonna happen every 2 minutes? Okay. Please, somebody tell me how to fix this. But in the meantime, I will keep rolling. We hear you just fine? All right, then I'm just gonna get rolling back again. So, this edition, we have 21 organizations and partners. Those are a lot of organizations and partners. Everybody was happy again to join us again. And I'm
SWB
so
audio
happy that
captured,
they
not
really wanted
registered.
to be part of this again and provided us with 13 awesome projects. It sounds a little cheesy when I say, they're so awesome, but they really are. I don't think I've ever had an edition that we had like bad or annoying projects, but they surprise me every year. And some of you probably already have had a little peek of what they're about to do. And if you haven't, don't worry, we'll dive in that today. We'll dive in that today, and it's going to be really nice. Okay, we have with you today 19 coaches and more than 10 counselors. So these coaches are going to make sure that you are going to deliver awesome projects. Thank you, coaches, for being here once again. And the counselors, they are people with expertise that just hang around on Discord. And if you have any questions, they are going to be happy to help you out today. And tomorrow and the coming 4 weeks, which is just awesome. So thank you for being here once again and making sure that students, you have an awesome summertime. We have 50 students for you. We have 50 colleagues to work with. And I have to say, you are quite lucky to be here because in the remote edition, we opened up Open Summer of Code Belgium to a broader audience. And because it was such a great success last year, we had 632 students applying, which means, well, you had to do a pretty good job to get in here. So congratulations on having a kick-ass resume and getting in. You can high-five yourself for this. There's no shame in this. Just do it. Yes, thank you. Also, like every year, we also have an Open Summer
SWB
of
audio
Code in
captured,
Spain.
not
You
registered.
can find them on Twitter and you can find them on Instagram. So if you do hashtag also21, you will probably see more than just us. And that's because there's also a cool edition happening in Spain. They have 3 projects that they think of themselves. You can find it on their website. It's really cool what they're doing. And they have 4 coaches and 2 counselors helping out. And they have a total of 20 students, which is awesome because, as you may or may not know, we are trying to conquer the world. And we are right on track because maybe or maybe not, somebody has also been infiltrating Open Summer of Code from the Netherlands. Emma, maybe give a shout out. And she might just set up an edition in the Netherlands as well. Because this is the last remote edition, we need to make sure that Open Summer of Code spreads all over the world so more people can enjoy it, right? And also, remember those 632 applicants? Well, that's kind of really cool because last year, okay, we had some interest from Italy, maybe from Spain, maybe from the Netherlands, Germany. Okay, but because Open Summer of Code was such a great success, word spread. And all of a sudden, we have people signing up from outside of Europe. We have people from the US, we have people from Asia, and more specifically India. So many talented people signed up, but we can't pay them and we can't figure out the time zones, which is super annoying. But that means we're doing something right, and a lot of students are interested in this, which means we are going to try and make sure we conquer the world. As I said, some of you might be thinking like, why would you want to conquer the world? Well, I have a very good reason for that. I'm not gonna do anything
SWB
bad
audio
with
captured,
it when, or
not
we're not gonna do
registered.
anything bad with it when we haven't said every dictator ever. But give me a moment to explain. Open Summer of Code is part of Open Knowledge Belgium, and Open Knowledge Belgium is part of Open Knowledge Foundation, which has chapters all over the world. And what open knowledge wants to do is create a world where we can create power for the many and not just the few. Now, how do we do that? Let me explain what open means, because open summer of code has a meaning. The open part has a meaning. Some of you already know what the value in this is, but I'll try to explain it as short as possible. What is open knowledge? Well, first of all, we can start with open data. When public data becomes free to use and accessible by anyone, we have open data. Open data. It's very important. This is only about public data because we really care for your privacy. We have a project for that. Please, team, drop a line what's happening with privacy and such. So it's by ID Lab. We'll talk about that later. But what does it mean, accessible and free to use by anyone? It means you don't have to pay for it. You don't have to negotiate for it. It's not on a piece of paper, but you can just get it from the internet and you can read it. That's accessible. Give me an example. Well, weather data. Imagine if that data was open. It's not open in Belgium. We used weather data from the Netherlands at this point, and I mean, that just doesn't make any sense. Imagine what we could do with that data, and not just people from, not just companies, people that
SWB
pay
audio
for it,
capture,
but anyone.
not
Imagine what you could
registered.
do with the data from the past, from the now, what you could do with it in the future. Oh no, there's actually good stuff happening around weather data. What am I saying? We'll talk about that later as well. In Belgium, there's good news. But we have this data, right? It's now available, but what if it was used, reused, and has become useful? It has been turned into information, because just raw data, well, it's nice to read, but you can't really do anything with it. But what if you could maybe make it a little richer, combine data sets, try something cool with it? Well, then we've created open knowledge. Yes, I'm sorry, we took over the world, but we have a good reason. And then, that's interesting. But what we're doing at Open Summer of Code, imagine everything we built around it to make that data accessible, then used and reused. If we made the tooling around it available to anyone, that's called open sourcing. So if we make sure that, for instance, an example a little closer to home, if you take the bus, you want that data to be available, free for everyone, because usually it's provided by the government. You want that data. You want to be able to build something cool with it. What if the tooling that we built around it, we also made that available to anyone? That means that not just Belgium can use this tooling and make their data available to anyone, but the Netherlands can do that. Germany can do that. Kampala can do that. I mean, that would be amazing, right? Well, we're doing that. That's amazing. So then we're reaching a lot of people and not just a few.
SWB audio capture,
We also
not
have a project on
registered.
that. So we have already privacy, we already have bus data, we even have data on nature reserves, and we're going to make cool stuff with it, and we're going to share it with the rest of the world. And what I like most about open is this sentence. It allows for us to stand on the shoulders of giants. We don't have to reinvent the wheel. We can share information, we can share knowledge, and then you can do great stuff. Because then you get to share it with citizens like you and me. We can build cool stuff. We get to share it with organizations, and these could be universities, governments, companies. They don't need to be public organizations. These can be private organizations like the ones we work for, right? And then the community. You, the people that are building, we can build on top of each other. We can create cool stuff. And well, most things we use on the internet, well, they're based on something open source. Dig deeper, and every application that you know has been built on something open. And I don't just mean code, I also mean design, I mean copyright, I mean sharing everything that is needed to bring a project to life. Because even Open Summer of Code itself is open source. You can copy Open Summer of Code anywhere. So that's how we're gonna conquer the world, right? You think this is a good reason to conquer the world? Because I do. I think it is. I think it is, honestly. Yes, Kampala, yay. Now, as I mentioned before, Open Summer of Code is part of Open Knowledge Belgium. And we have a lot of themes that we treat, like open source, open data, data publishing, open mobility, open geo, open science, open licensing, civic tech, open AI, and open education, and so much more. So
SWB
these are
audio
some of the
capture,
topics that we
not
talk about.
registered.
But we turn those into actual activities like Open Summer of Code. For instance, we have Hack Your Future Belgium, which is a coding school for refugees. We have OpenStreetMap. I think now is your cue to start typing maps. And while the OpenStreetMap community is warm and fluffy, they do awesome stuff. And we have two very cool projects. One is called Natuurpunt, and you'll be able to find all nature reserves, which is nice because nature reserves are awesome. And then we also have another project by East Flanders, and they actually provide you bike routes and so you could hop on a bus, no, on a train, then on a bus, and then you can take your bike to a nature reserve. I mean, traveling during COVID-19, no problem. Okay, more about that. We have open recognition. They also have an awesome project here today. Maybe Bert, why pods? Why pods? Okay. But Bert, maybe you drop a little line about recognizing the skills somebody has, and not just because you have a diploma, you are smart or you're good at something. There's so many ways to recognize the strength within you, and Bert knows how to do that, and Emma does as well. We have Creative Commons, very important. That's the way we are going to make sure that we have the proper licensing to open source that code that we made. If I'm going too fast, just ask me questions if this is too much information. Okay, we have Civic Labs Belgium, we have Communica, that's a new activity. Pieter Koolpaard will explain about that later, I think. IRL, Open Access, Open Tourism, Open Planner, and every year we organize Open Belgium, which gives you the state of the art of what's happening in Belgium.
SWB audio capture, not
And then, of
registered.
course, last but not least, back to Open Summer of Code. We have 4 very important moving parts in Open Summer of Code. You've heard about open knowledge. Then we also have the organizations. Without them, there would be no project and there would be no pay for you. We have the coaches and the counselors. They make sure that everything runs quite smoothly, challenge you here and there, and make sure that they guide you towards a successful project. And now you, students, you are the one that's gonna make this happen. We can conquer the world together. I know that sounds really cheesy. I know. But I actually, whenever I see you building things, working together, I actually believe you can take on the world together. We put you in diverse teams. We try to make sure we have people with different skill sets in one project because we believe that's needed to create a successful project. And we don't only make diverse teams based on skills, because I think you need a developer, designer, somebody that does communication, maybe a researcher, to make sure that a project is successful. But we also want people with different backgrounds, different cultures, different ideas, to make sure that the things we make are actually relevant to our society, that reflect our society today, that it's relevant for our society today. And you will find out who your team members are later today and which projects you're going to build. Woof! Okay, I need to drink. Badger, mushrooms. Okay, great. Yeah, there must be something about this open thing.
SWB audio
All right.
capture, not registered.
Then we have coaches and counselors. They have your back. So the coaches, they'll be with you every day to make sure everything goes smoothly. And then we have the counselors that you can ask questions for. You can find them, you can ask them questions in the help channels, you can ask them questions just everywhere, basically. We'll dive into that a little later. We also have student coaches, and they have your backs back. We've selected a few students that will help out coaches in many ways. So they will work on their project, they will support their team members just like everybody else will do, because Open Summer of Code is built on helping each other out. This is why we're good, because we're not afraid to share knowledge. Okay. But they can also help out other people, because they've been through one or two rides with us already. There's also other students that have gone on an Open Summer of Code ride already. So if you have any questions, if things are awkward, you can ask them, you can ask a coach, you can ask me. We are here to help you. Okay. Then we have a very, very important part of Open Summer of Code, like I mentioned before, the organizations. And they are going to make sure that you have something awesome to put on your resume. So we're going to build something innovative together, something valuable. And these are the organizations that are going to work with us. I would love to see like some clapping in the chat, or emoji, or whatever you need, whatever you can give us for our partners. I'm gonna run through it.
SWB
while
audio
I'm saying
capture,
it, I just
not
want to see those
registered.
hands. All right. Oh, thank you, Ines, for sharing. Yeah, don't hesitate. And I will introduce the student coaches later. You'll find it. Okay, we have Belnet, Code Club, Karel de Grote Hogeschool, Artevelde Hogeschool, Hoogent, the Open Recognition Alliance, the Ghent University, City of Ghent, Province of East Flanders, or Provincie Oost-Vlaanderen, Natuurpunt, or NaturePoint, Deloitte, Arvesta, VLIS, or the Flanders Marine Institute. We have Agency Digital Flanders, Fris Research Portal. We have the Agency for Home Affairs. We have Mobility and Public Works. We have the Road and Traffic Agency, all of Flanders. We have EMAC. We have the Internet Technology and Data Science Lab called ID Lab. And then we have us, Open Knowledge. So put your hands together. Thank you for making sure we have an awesome summer. This is what you all are. This is what you look like. Not exactly, but this is what you're doing right now, live. This is what we are together. It's just digital. And we are all here to learn, to fall flat on our face, to get up and to learn something new. I see a lot of beautiful hands, by the way. Thank you so much. We're going to create something meaningful together. This is organized. We have a couple of coordinators that I'm going to present to you. I'm going to present the coaches and the student coaches next week, because you are going to get so much information today. And I'll make sure that we introduce the right people at the right time. But you've already met Astrid, probably. Astrid, well, she is the general coordinator of Open Knowledge Belgium, and she does a wonderful job at it. And she is also the coach for the Open Summer of Code communications team for 2021. She takes care of partner
SWB audio
relationships
capture,
like a star,
not
like nobody can
registered.
do it. And she does a wonderful job at admin. I'm so happy that I don't have to do that, because then it would be a mess. Thank you so much, Astrid, because I'm not good at it. So if you have a problem, she'll be there and she'll fix it. She wasn't there last year, but she has been the years before. So she knows what Open Summer of Code is about, what the spirit is, and I'm happy to have you back. We also have Niels as a design coordinator. So if you're like, hey, these t-shirts are nice, I'm looking good with these cards, well, thank Niels for it. He is our swag manager, and he is also the coach at Arvesta. But if you have ideas, if you're like, I have a concept in my mind, but I'm not sure, and I need somebody to ping pong, Niels is your man. You can call him on your team and he'll be like, hey, I'll help you out, because he's really, really good at that design too. So he makes projects shine bright like a diamond. Then my name is Meet. I totally forgot to introduce myself, but that's why I have a slide so I don't forget. I'm the chair at Open Knowledge. I sit comfy. And I'm the coach for the Open Summer of Code selections team. So excited to do this. I will also help out a little bit with the comms team. And I'm the coach's coach. I make sure that the coaches can coach. So if the coaches have questions, they come to me as well. And if you're like, geez, Open Summer of Code is quite busy, that's my fault because I make the calendar. All right, now I need you to know. Some of you already know. Let's be very clear. This is not a school assignment. This is serious business. All right? Because I expect
SWB
big
audio
things
capture,
from small
not
teams.
registered.
I expect you to develop your project. I expect you to put the code, your designs, everything on GitHub. I expect you to host your product and service. I expect you to create a communication strategy. I expect you to create a branding. I expect you to write a proposal to make the project sustainable. I expect you to do proper user testing, because people are going to use what we're building. Yes, real people. This is a real project, remember? I expect you to write all the necessary documentation, because then other people can stand on your shoulders, because you're one of the giants right now. I expect you to make a final presentation, a wonderful pitch at the end for the demo day, and I expect you to pitch it like you've never pitched before, because yes, you are going to learn to pitch this year. It's very important to know how to sell what you made, because people are not just gonna find it on the internet. No, you're gonna have to pitch it real good. Don't worry, we have an excellent guide. Oh no, it's is the SVB audio thing. I actually registered it. I bought it. I'm so angry at them right now. Okay, I will fix this for the next live presentation. I'm so sorry. Okay, so we have a wiki that explains everything wonderfully. We have two wikis. One is specific for this edition, and one is for delivering like and one is for editions, every edition again, so you can reuse information. Hey, because that's what we do, we make information reusable. So there's a link, help.also.be/global, how to deliver like a pro. You'll be able to use it throughout Open Summer of Code. Now, the deal is,
SWB audio capture, not registered.
A calendar. Give me 1 second. I need to check something. To unshare my presentation. All right. So if you don't know what to do exactly, we have this little website called help.also.be, and you will find everything you need to know there. But of course, we also have, let me share it again. A way to ask questions. So you can surf to help.also.be/also21. You'll find most information there. But if you are lost, you can always ask questions. We have a hashtag practical questions channel, and you can ask whatever you need over there. So quick recap about what Discord is, because it can be quite overwhelming the first time you're in there. You can go to a server. So you see Open Summer of Code is a server, and you can have multiple servers below. In that server, you have channels, like the general channel, like the practical questions. But above that, you have this little guy, and if you click it, it says home. Then you can see all the people you've made friends with. So you can send friends requests, and you can chat with anyone across servers. So that's not attached to servers. You can, I do encourage asking questions in channels and not per DM, because probably if you have a question, somebody else has that question too. And as we're all about helping each other out, that's really nice and really transparent. And believe me, there's no such thing as a stupid question. No, this is not a challenge to ask stupid
SWB
questions.
audio
Just
capture,
ask whatever is
not
on your
registered.
mind. I would also like you to tell us what you are good at. I've created in the welcome channel. Yes, just go to the welcome channel. You just click those little emoji at the bottom, what you're good at. If I'm missing one, let me know. But then if you click it, it automatically gets added to your profile. Like Alex here, one of our lovely coaches. He is a coach. I assigned that role to him, but design, front end, research, and business, that's just assigned because it was on the little welcome card. He also is a helping hand, and I will explain that later when it's relevant. So why do I want you to do that? Well, then we know what you're good at, and maybe people can ask you questions about something. That would be amazing. Good. Now, let's find your project and team. So as you saw before with Alex as well, you have like little red dots, and those are the projects you've been assigned to or project you've been assigned to, if you haven't found it out just yet. But if you see, like, for instance, Arvesta Hackathon in there, you can also know, oh, that's my channel where I can hang out and ask questions, find my coach. If you haven't found them before, you can find your team there as well. Then the most funky thing about Discord that I find amazing, but I was a little bit woof when I noticed that it existed. You can drop in on any conversation. And I've seen people make the same mistake as I did, but the moment you click on one of those channels, you are in a conversation. You literally drop in. People can hear what you're saying, and you can hear what they're saying if they're in there. You can do a lot of cool stuff there too. You can like play music and such, and you can share it with everyone. But watch out if you click one of those.
SWB audio capture,
You're
not
in there. People
registered.
can hear you. I've heard cats already. So if you want to get out, go to your menu bar on the left, go to the bottom, and you will see a little disconnect button, which is very important because, yeah, I keep clicking on voice channels and I have to disconnect all the time. It's super annoying, but it is what it is. This is the most fun way to hang out with your colleagues. Now, oh, I just noticed the disconnect button is here. There you go. Insert joke about your name. Right. Yes, it's the equivalent of butt dialing. Thank you so much, Michiel, for saying that. And yes, Britt, I loved hearing your cat. He was shining bright like a diamond as well. Okay, next up, we have a calendar for you. The main gist of Open Summer of Code is week 1, you explore, you figure out who your team is, you figure out what your project is, you get to know each other a little bit, and you get to test a couple of things. You'll get to learn a lot. Then in week 2 and week 3, you're focused on building. And I don't just mean, yeah, you just code on your laptop. No, this is going to be deployed. This is going to be user tested. This is going to be, well, a real project. So I expect you to not just crank out designs and code. I expect it to be integrated with your team members and actually, well, see the project grow. And in the last week, this is the delivery week. You will be focused on writing proper documentation here because, as I said, you're a giant now. You need people to stand on your shoulders, right? That means people have to find your shoulders,
audio
know
capture,
how they
not
work,
registered.
and how to get in there. If you don't know that, if you don't know how to set up a project or how something works, how can you stand on somebody's shoulders? That's what the delivery week is for. And you will also be pitching to the stars. Week number 1 is focused on getting to know your team. I said that. Building, and more building in week 3. I had slides for this. And then week 4, we had documentation and handover. But I was going to show you, we have the Open Summer of Code 2021 website. And here you can see, if you click on calendar, you can see week per week what's about to go down. So you have the week overview where you can see what your week is going to look like. But when you click this specific day, you will see what's happening. So we're right now at the introduction. You have been welcomed to the madness. That's this. And then after this, you'll get to know your project and your team. There's a couple of things that we will ask you, like if you've well studied your briefing, I would like to see like a summary of 200 characters approximately, what you understood from the project, and you can add it to an Excel sheet because we're going to put this on a website later today. And maybe you can already think of some questions you want to ask your client. Maybe something is missing, maybe something you would like to know. This is your time to really dive deep. Then in the afternoon, you'll be focused on pitching, and you can use those 200 characters before to prepare your pitch.
SWB audio capture,
Now,
not
what is
registered.
a pitch? It's a 60-second, introduction of your project. You need to sell it to me. And what can you say about it? Well, you can tell us what the project is, what the goal is, who's the partner, who are you building this for, and maybe even introduce your team if you have time for that, like who is in there and who is your coach or who are your coaches, and add it to the same sheet as well. You will also have to decide who is going to pitch. And I know some people don't like pitching at all, but I recommend taking this opportunity to learn how to pitch, because I recommend this to anyone that will ever have to, get a job or talk to anyone about a project you made. It's such a useful skill. And that's why Open Summer of Code exists. So you can try it out in a safe space, in a safe environment. And every week we will have pitches. So if you're interested, you can always give it a try. And I would love for you to try it out. Yeah, that's it. And there's also an explanation on how it works. We also have some pitch tips if you would like. I will share it later on with you. Then, you as a team, you will have to have a team name, a new team name, maybe something that you feel comfortable with, that represents the people in your team and represents what you are. And you can put this in a crest together. So what is a crest? See it as a flag that represents your small country that you're living in for a while. You can find some examples on the website of Open Summer of Code as well. There's
SWB audio capture, not registered.
And then after that, we'll do some live presentations. So the pitchers that you have selected will be pitching it live to everyone what they're doing. So you can also enjoy seeing other people pitch and see what they're all about. It's going to be nice. Don't stress too much, because we just want to know what you're up to. And we're excited to hear all about it. And in the afternoon, after the presentations, you can make a picture with your team, send it over, put on your nice t-shirt. If you haven't had that t-shirt yet, it's coming, it's in the mail. You can also use your little precious cards. We'll explain at a different point in time what they're actually for, because no, you didn't just get it for fun. Well, actually, you did just get it for fun, but you can do cool stuff with it too. And then we can also set up a conversation starter profile, but I will explain later what that is. It's going to make sure that you will meet other people next week as well. Back to the presentation. I promise you, we are almost done with this, and so you can get to know your team soon. Everything is prepared all these 4 weeks for the demo day. Pitching is live. The post that doesn't want me to get my t-shirt. Uh-oh. Okay, let us know if you've already got like a confirmation that it's on the way. Yes, it's hard to keep serious. Okay. Yes. The demo day. It's all quite scary if you look at it from a distance and see everything you have to do. But don't worry, we created this calendar, we created this whole flow to make sure that you'll be able to deliver with success. And we are here to help. Don't worry, we have multiple ways, multiple
SWB audio
processes
captured,
even
not
set in
registered.
place to make sure that you are supported, that we have your back, that we have your backs back, and back to back. Something with backs. And we want you to grow. We want you to grow those big, juicy brains. So I want you to make mistakes and I want you to stand up and just try again, because that's what Open Summer of Code is. You will learn what you haven't learned in school so that you are prepared for that juicy job that you have your eyes on. I don't know why a job should be juicy, but it is right now. Yeah, we are preparing you for that, to get the job that you want. And don't forget, we also want you to have fun. I think the last thing I want you to know, it's a couple of slides. Open Summer of Code wasn't created by a few people. It's created by everyone involved. It's not one individual that shines. If your colleagues, if your team shines, you shine. If the other teams shine, you shine as well. This is not a competition. The goal of this is to create kick-ass projects together. And I do expect that you show respect for your team members. We want you to help each other out, celebrate successes, help each other out when things go wrong. This is the base of what Open Summer of Code is built upon. We also celebrate diversity and inclusivity. This is why our main language is English, because even if you're living in Belgium, we often don't understand each other, and the shared language is English. So I encourage you to speak English at all times to make sure that other people can understand you and they can just drop in on that conversation. Go through the code of conduct whenever you have time. That explains what we expect when it comes to a safe
SWB audio
environment. We
captured,
don't
not
like
registered.
it when you harass somebody, of course not, or when you say mean things. We're here to support each other, okay? But we also value motivation and hard work. We want you to go hard or go home. No, you can also like put in that neutral good energy, because you need to go for 4 weeks. Don't burn yourself in the first week. Don't burn yourself in the second week, because we have the demo day to work towards. Channel that energy, spread it throughout those 4 weeks, and keep it tight. Okay? So motivation and hard work. We also have a site on that as well. There's also some tips for live editions. That's for later, but they will be valuable for you to know as well. As I said before, we're all here to learn and to create something meaningful. And I wish you all the best, because now we're going to have those awkward first conversations with our team members and get to know each other. Your coach probably prepared a nice little icebreaker for you. Yeah, some people are learning like the thing with are doing the game with 2 lies and a truth, or 2 truths and a lies. I still need to prepare some of mine. It's gonna be fun. And yeah, you should know everybody feels awkward. So thank you very much for listening to me the past 40 minutes. I wish you the best of luck. Make mistakes and learn from them. You can always drop me a line if you have any questions. Good luck, everyone. And you can just, yeah, head out to your team chat. Your coach will probably tell you what to do. So yeah, good luck. I always forget to make like a
SWB audio
decent
captured,
goodbye.
not registered.
Bye, everyone. Good job. Over. Yeah? I bought it. I'm fixing it. I'm fixing it. I'm fixing it. No. Ah, fuck it is.